Well, hello and welcome to Dream. Let's go ahead and see what we can get into. We're going to do a little bit of Art Bell, January 27th, 1998.
Who is James Jan? Well, he's a spiritual medium. Now, what is that? I'll tell you what it is. It means he can communicate with people who have actually passed on. Now, many times on radio programs, James will communicate for people who have lost loved ones and so forth. But we are not going to do that. We are going to discuss what he does. We are going to discuss life after death. We are going to discuss his new book, which I'm very jealous about. He has the #1 New York Times bestseller right now called Talking to Heaven. James has appeared recently on, in fact, he's been all over Larry King Live, CBS 48 Hours, more radio and TV shows than you can count. He is perhaps one of the foremost mediums in the country, maybe the foremost today, providing evidence of life after death to many, those who listen. His book, Talking to Heaven, has been so popular, bookstores have been unable to keep it in stock, so you might not even be able to find it for all I know. James, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Art. Thanks for having me.
How does it feel, James, to have something skyrocket to #1 on the bestseller list?
Kind of bizarre, actually, kind of surreal, because I had a feeling it would do that, but he did it quickly. And the head of the publishing company called me up and said to me, "In our 30 years of doing this, you've never seen a book go up so quickly." There was such a demand on the book.
All right, that's a good place to start. Why?
Well, I think that it speaks to people at all different levels, first of all. I wrote it very simply, so because it's helping people overseas, over or under, they price to them. And it's very simply put. The truth is very simple. I don't confess to know everything in the book. I say exactly what I've been 10 to 14 years working with spirit and working with mediumship. And I just explain that to people with my experience in bed. I think people see it very real. And that's something they can relate to. And I've had such great response from people that read the book.
There must be some sort of spiritual renaissance going on.
I think any time we change the millennium, there's always a search. There's always a search for something new. And people they're trying to go through identification of some sort. And I think it's partly that. I also think in this age, we've come to a time where religions don't work anymore for a lot of people. And they're searching. They don't answer those questions that people want to know about. So they go searching for elsewhere.
Well, that's an interesting comment. Religions don't work. I don't go to church every Sunday, or any Sunday, really. I don't. And it's because of exactly what you just said. Religion doesn't work for me. There's something too organized, too ritualistic like, or I don't want to step on any toes here because I don't harbor any ill will toward anybody's religion, and I never stomp on them. But it's just not for me. And I know that's true of a lot of Americans.
Well, I think that religion has its place for people. I think people are here to learn lessons, and people have to learn all different types of expressions. And if that's their truth, then so be it. And God bless them, they should have that truth. And that's the freedom we have, that freedom of expression. But I believe when man comes into the picture, the ego of man comes into the religion and starts forcing people based on fear, to control them, then there's something wrong. The essence of the religion is lost. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I don't think we're supposed to be afraid of God.
I think God. My God is not a God of punishment and judgment. God is of pure love. That's what I think it was meant to be.
And yet, a lot of what we do crosses to religion. There's no question about it. I mean, we're talking about heaven.
Right.
Well, a lot of people, James, I'll just lay it out for you, think that what you do, being a medium, is absolute baloney. I mean, they just think that it's baloney, that nobody can talk to the dead, nobody can break that barrier. A lot of people don't even believe there is a barrier, don't think that you go anywhere except dangle the dirt and worms fall in and worms fall out. So What do you say to the skeptics, and there's plenty of skeptics, the people who say, what a bunch of baloney, crystal ball stuff, it just flat can't be true. What do you say to these people? Anything at all?
Well, you have to come from based on experience, don't you? I mean, you really have to have experience in order to judge it. Everyone tends to judge things before they have the experience. They don't understand something. What's the first thing they do? They judge it.
And they're afraid of it.
They're affected based on fear. I always tell people it's so hard to believe that I can do this, but yet we have cell phones, we have radio. What are we doing here? We have television. I don't know, the waves in the air, do we? But yet we see these images or we hear these things, and it's your signals. You what something done. It's improving its energy.
Oh, listen, I think what I said, James, if you could see microwave energy, if you could see radio and television energy, you could see all the earth in the air, but with color, you could actually see it. They begin to pass laws against it.
You can't regulate it. Of course, they would. Yeah, we have animals that high and here in a very high frequency, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we just put that off. And there are individuals who are sensitive and much more sensitive than others. And really, all I do is my antenna is a little bit up more than most people. And maybe it's because I've meditated more, or I thought I was born this way, more sensitive.
Well, that's where I was going next. How did all this begin for you, and when did you realize that you had this ability?
Art is really funny because when I was a pretty normal kid, except I was graveyard cemeteries, I don't know why. Oh yeah, I used to love going to them. I used to love reading the headstones. I used to love haunted houses. And I don't know why, but I was fascinated with that.
Eventually, we'll take trips to graveyards.
Oh yeah, the kids, my neighborhood kids, we just go to graveyards, and I'm a fascinated. And the older the grave, the more fascinated I was. Even to this day, I'll go to the grave in the town visiting. I pass by graves there, so they're going to go right to it. It's very strange.
Well, that's like this one. All right, when you go to a graveyard, now, we've all thought a little bit about this. You see the headstones there, you read them.
Right.
Is there any attachment between what is buried on those headstones?
No, I'm looking at my book, especially real quick, funny thing. So my book, I looked at my book. One of my early childhood experiences about this stuff. I at school, I had two friends of mine when I was about 8 years old. We went to a graveyard and we were having lunch. And so these two little kids, all three of us, so these two little kids playing, a little girl, a little boy, about 5 and 6 years of age. And they were playing on the gravestone, a little bit away. I looked at them and I walked over. We said, look to see them. We walked over there and they just kind of disappeared and we didn't find them. And we looked on the gravestone and it was a little boy and girl, brother and sister that died 2 years earlier. Buried there. And that was the very first experience I had with the book.
Well, okay, see, that implies there's some sort of connection. I don't want to think that somehow. Many of us are, when we die, not buried, but cremated or something else. So is there a connection between our bodies and our afterlife? There is a connection?
No, in some ways there is not. In that, we are first and foremost spirits. We are spirit beings encased in physical vehicle. It's like we have a car to drive in the world. It's the same thing with spirit. We have a spirit, we have a physical body, have to get around the earth.
We are vessels.
We are vessels. And when it's time for us to leave, we leave this vessel.
Right.
It's a tool work down here.
Okay, then why would a spirit then, James, hang around near its vessel?
Sometimes the spirit does not realize this is over because it's such a natural occurrence. They might not realize this is happening. And another thing that happens is sometimes there's so much grief with a family member, it's stuff that they literally will pull the spirit down around them and hanging out on the earth. And also, if their spirit is very upset in the physical world or the earthly things, it's harder for them to free themselves of these earthly things. It depends on their consciousness.
So if you had a house or a car that you loved and you died unexpectedly, you might not want to leave your stuff.
You betcha. That's the haunted house with that.
Oh my. Or even stranger yet, you said that a loved one in their grief could actually pull down and hold the spirit.
That's right. That's right. In many instances, they can do that. Because they're grief-ridden. It's very much like the spirit world is made of thought. Everything is on thought. And our loved ones on Earth, when we're spirit, we feel their thoughts. We hear their thoughts. They can telephone ringing constantly. And it's kind of like hold us down. And that's why it's very difficult. We should learn to let the spirit go because The spirit has to grow on the other side. They have work to do in the spirit world, just like we have work in the physical world.
And you counsel people like that. You tell them what you've got to let go. I would assume that a lot of the people that come to you are absolutely buried in grief.
Oh, definitely. That's exactly right. And 1 hour of me, I've been told this, 1 hour therapy with me equals about 2 years of psychotherapy. So they get right down to the bottom line, and I write the emotion. And it feels quite a bit, quite a bit. You know, it also releases the spiritual on, you see, let something go on.
I do see it. How could we do that? Is our spirit, while it's still in our bodies, in a way as powerful as the spirit that is trying to be released, or even more powerful?
Well, the personality survives death. They were very powerful when they were embodied. They'll be the same way when they pass over. You don't change that drastically. They're very much the very same way. And when you through spirits, their personality takes them right through. They don't change that drastically.
Where is the proof of an afterlife? Well, what is the best proof that there really is something that survives the physical day?
You know, the only way I can answer is that, besides, the many methods I've received, thousands of months, I can only go scientifically. I'm very much a scientific way of thinking, Virgo, like you are. And I have to think that we're energy. Molecules vibrating and moving at a certain rate of speed.
We are, sure.
And we are energy. And I don't know, how can you kill energy? How can you get proven that you can kill energy? You can transform energy, but you can't kill energy. It has to go somewhere. And I do believe there are things outside the physical, our physical senses, we're not aware of. Most common person out there is not aware of. And I think that's where this place is. That's where we go. Another vibration, another frequency that most people on this earth are aware of. Yes, there are those people that are sensitive, like myself, and we're aware of these.
Another vibration, another frequency, another dimension.
Another dimension. It's interdimensional. I think there are many, many dimensions.
I think that a lot of science, a lot of physics, a lot of people like yourself are now beginning to talk about multiple dimensions, and I think that I'm a believer in it, James. I really think I'm a believer in multiple dimensions. Now, do you think that science will ever find a way, in effect, to do what you do scientifically, to produce some sort of machine, produce a frequency that would allow some sort of door to be open between here and there?
Oh, certainly. They're actually working on it right now. There's a member named Mark Macy, I've mentioned him before, and he works with the electromagnetic waves of doing this, of bringing through spirit. It appears on a computer, it appears on the telephone, on radio, in lots of there's a foundation that they work with this sort of thing. And they've had many things from spirit, and many information come through. And I believe that they are fine-tuning these apparatuses. And right now, they have to be very careful because you throw it out there, the government jumps right on top of it. So they're being very careful to not push the stuff out in the wrong way.
This is a matter of curiosity. If somebody were to develop a machine to allow a door and to be open, and communication to really be established, or even movement back and forth, what kind of effect would that have on us, mortals, physical mortals, here for 100 years or so? It would have a profound effect on all of the world, wouldn't it?
Profound, completely. And that is why what I do comes such a challenge to most people, because once you realize that there is an afterlife, that there's a world beyond, and that you are, your heaven, your hell is based on your thoughts, words, and deeds, how you treat one another. Once you realize that responsibility that you have, my God, you're going to change your whole way of life and living, and how you think about someone. And many times you have to change your paradigm. The paradigm shifts. And many people, the majority of people out there, don't want to take responsibility. They don't take responsibility.
Daniel Wrigley.
Yeah, very well.
Well, in fact, Daniel recommended some time ago that I must get you on.
He just called me today. I just did that.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Daniel, when he died, had a full life review. Now, so here I want to ask you, what actually happens when you die? Is Daniel's experience typical? In other words, do you relive? Daniel did, and it was interesting. He said, you have a full life review, and you feel everything, everything that anybody ever felt from you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I love that explanation it gives because it is true. And again, I base this upon thousands and thousands of readings that I have done. And, heard from here, we come back, and hundreds of books that I've read also on the subject of the world, because I'm a natural researcher. Many times people will come back and they'll talk about their review. They have, like, when they pass over, and again, they're outside of time when they pass over. There's no such thing as time in the spirit world. It's only relative to the physical world. So I can't say do it in a day or, it's different. It's fear, you're escaping anything. So what happens is you see your life, almost like movies, or some people explain it like a new television set, which is broken down into sections. And you will see how you're affecting someone. For instance, let's say you're in great bed one day, and you went to the bank and yelled at the teller. You will feel how that teller felt when you yelled at that person. And then you'll see how the teller got so angry and turned to the coworker, yelled at the coworker, and stuff like that, and so forth and so on. And you feel each person's self based upon their one initial word or feeling. And then you have to try to complete yourself. And that's how
that's exactly what I was doing. That sounds like hell to it. And, I have heard people in my life I yell at, and I can sit here right now and go back through it. Now, I can't know for sure what the other person felt, but it scared the hell out of me. Because I know that I've hurt people. We all have. We're just not perfect, and that's not perfect. To go through that and to imagine that you have to face up to what they felt, that's really terrifying.
But then, of course, you start living a life in the person in a different way, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you start thinking about your actions and thoughts, words, and deeds. And it's training yourself. You have to, when you become a spiritual person, you take the responsibility of that.
How would NDEs, near-death experiences, are they one of the best groups, do you think, of natural life?
Definitely, most definitely. I would say so. More so in some ways than what I do because, well, each person has an experience that's very real for them. But yes, I would say so.
When did you first find out that you were able to communicate across this dimensional barrier?
Well, I was about 14 years ago. I went to a meeting in England. A lady I was working with said to me, and I was working 8 Italian in a basement somewhere. She said, "Would you like to be a medium?" And I said, "What is that?" And she said, "He talks to the dead." And I didn't believe it. And I said, "Sure, let's go out to be a big laugh riot." And I walked in, and the first thing the man said to me was, "I see lights around you." And he said things about me which no one knew. He brought to an uncle that passed over with the name, with details, and I was pretty blown away. And then he said to me, "You're going to start doing what I was doing for years. What's wrong with it?" And I said, "No way. I'm not from the living. All I'm supposed to say. You don't do it." And I thought, this is fascinating. I was really fascinated with it. And the research and scientists in me, I want to find out more. So I read up on the subject, the psychic phenomena, mediumship, life after death, NDs. And I started meditating and started playing with the psychic stuff. And I must tell you that I was like talking to some lady once. And I said, "There's a grandmother around you." And I gave the name. And I said, "Idaho?" She said, "Yes, my grandma was in Idaho." And I said, "She showed me a rose petal footstool." And she said, "Well, she did needlepoint and she made a footstool of roses." And it was on the all the time.
So in other words, there was
Right, yeah, 2 years, 2 days, and everything.
Yeah, I don't know whether I can agree with that or not. James, hold on, we're at the top of the hour. Can you imagine that? I'm beginning to call things and say things and realize that you're absolutely correct about those who pass away, which means you are in communication with those who have gone to the other side, the other dimension, however you want to put it. Remarkable. James Ron Clark is my guest. We'll be right back. Now, I think America's #1 medium, James Ron Clark. That's a fun title, huh? And I certainly believe it. Right, somebody's asking going back to time. Given that you can only transform energy, James, and not destroy it, what do you understand the different and various forms of energy to be? Are there states or forms of energy which cannot be changed, or once changed cannot be unchanged? What exactly is so special about our human form of energy?
Wow, there's a lot of many questions there, aren't there? Yes, there are. can only say what I know, and I'm not a scientist, but I will. My belief is that there are different forms of energy, and what is energy? What is energy first of all? Basically, energy is our molecules that are vibrating or moving at a certain rate of speed. It's energy. I believe there are various frequencies, which means that the molecules move or vibrate at a much quicker rate rather, or a much slower rate. Okay? I believe our physical world will vibrate at a certain level. I do believe there are levels lower than ours or slower than ours. And I believe there are those that are faster. And I believe there are some other dimensions, even like I talked earlier. And even, when you show you all talk about other life systems, other life forms. Yes, yes, oh yes. I believe that they themselves, other universes, are another whole different energy system than we are. Other dimensions, I think that's what it is.
Well, have you encountered life forms?
Yes. Every October, I was getting to this one, I love this one. So they cover the block your show.
Of course.
And every October, I bring a group of people down to Sedona, Arizona. And we were one, 2 years ago, we were privileged, I would say, to go to this private ranch down there. And supposedly there is underneath a wonderful, an underground utility, if you will.
Wait a minute now. Sedona Underground Facility? Excuse me? I always heard that Sedona was, what do they call it, a vortex a point or an energy point?
Vortex of energy, that's right. Well, underground. And most of these UFOs, what I call them that, are in that area because of the rich ore minerals of the earth. The various energy centers, what's called vortexes, most of those vortexes will have a certain amount of rich minerals in the earth. Okay?
Yes, because they're probably magnetically anomalous. There's going to be a lot of very rich ore, as you point out.
Correct. And I believe, but there are another structure that has something to do with they need this for some reason. Whatever reason it is, they need this mineral. So we went to this place, this ranch, and we were with ufologists. And he was known for taking pictures and pictures from the actual spots or colors or something of the vehicle or ships, whatever I call them. And there was about 25 people in the group there. And we waited at night, and very interesting. I don't know if it's sensitive to fear or feel or not, but I started hearing like this buzzing around me. And I started getting very agitated, as most of the people. And then we noticed different lights in the sky. And different types of lights in the sky. Some were quicker, and he had names for different ones. And they were, now I'm very skeptical of this whole thing. I mean, I really am. Why are you? I mean, but I believe it because I've seen it, I've experienced it. And I would see a line, it must be like, it's a good star, moving star. No, it is. It goes back and forth. And then we saw them jumping all over. And there were colors of green, orange, blue, white, and they were blinking back and forth. And they were all over. And then there were other ones that would just flying, they called them strobe. And sure enough, he goes, there we go. And they go right towards that ranch area, the facility. Anyway, we were there for an hour, and they grew and grew, and now we saw the binoculars. You can see what they go. I also we were very closely. It would look like a star, but you're so close that you see them moving, you see the colors involved. And after a while, I started sensing around me the energy. I felt I might can relate it to you. You know when you're standing in a room and you feel someone behind you?
Absolutely.
When you turn around and standing there?
Of course.
That is the feeling I can relate to. That's exactly what I felt. I felt it in the field in front of me. And I said to this man, Richard, I'm feeling these energy forms or forces in pockets in front of me in the field. And he smiled and shook his ears. That's right. I've been doing this for quite a while. And I said, I feel as though telepathically I'm picking something up. Hamilton, I didn't try to do this. It just flowed into my consciousness. He said, go get a message, see what you're getting. So I went over there and, went to meditative state. And I was getting filled with this stuff. And I tell you, what I got was so profound with simplicity. I heard that there were some Pleiades beings.
Here we go.
And they said to me, love. Why is it so difficult for the human race to learn about love? You have love all around you, everywhere in your world. Yet,
I think love is probably the strongest force in the universe. That's what I think.
You betcha, pure life. Love can take away any fear. Anytime anyone's fear, with love, the trouble with love is a beautiful light.
But it's only a small component of what we've got down here because we have hate, we have envy, we have greed, we have, every range you can imagine. And a lot of them have absolutely nothing to do with love. So the strongest force in the universe is one we express rather sparingly.
Right. But also what we have to appreciate, the way we appreciate love is by through these other things. Because you have to have duality. You have to learn about the negative to appreciate the positive.
Can't have the good without the bad. Can't know the good without the bad, right?
Exactly right. You can appreciate it. Absolutely. But yet, I think that people have a faith with love. I mean, it's there. I guess it takes evolution for each soul to evolve on their own path, their own progression. But love is the answer. I'll tell you, love is it. And that's one of the things that why I do the work I do. The love bond that we create on this earth with our loved ones, they transcend that. And I'll tell you, those emotions are so real when I bring them through. That's why I do it, because I feel a rush of energy when I do this work, which I cannot describe to you. How can you describe love? How can we describe it? It's like describing the wind.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the most interesting lines in the movie Contact, which I love so dearly, was when Jodie Foster was talking to this man of the cloth, and he asked her in a moment of trying to get to the proof of things. He said, "Did you love your father?" And Jodie Foster said, "Oh yes, of course, deeply." And he said, "Prove it." She just stood there, wide-eyed, and of course, how do you prove that? There's no words that you can say to prove that you love somebody. It's just something that is.
It just is. It's a different language. And now when you ask them about skeptics, what do I say to skeptics? What can I say to skeptics? How can I describe it? I can't describe this thing. They're feeling. How can you describe feelings? How can you describe?
Well, you did a little bit of it because you've written a #1 bestseller.
True, but how can you describe something you have no words for in the English language also? There's no word that express the feeling that come through.
Well, you can talk about feelings.
Right.
Although, when I went to the Great Pyramid and got to lay in the sarcophagus, I felt something that you're absolutely right. I have been totally unable to describe, give words to properly describe what I felt when I was laying in there. It was, well, there you go. See, I really can't talk too much about it. My whole body knew it, everything. I mean, it was just, see my words. That's it. So for some things, there really are not words to impart. And this is one of those things. Tell me about talking to Tell me about heaven.
That's about heaven.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody wants to know about heaven. What lies on the other side? You talk to people there, you want to know.
Well, in the book, I talk a little bit about that because I also, in the book, I bring through different sessions I've done. And of course, inevitably with sessions, you will talk about what they're living or what they're doing and so forth. And I have found that, I feel like I described it, the Bible says, "My Father has a house and mansions." And what that means is various spiritual levels of which there are many, many levels. And we go at that level that we create based on our lives on earth. Most everyday average people have no problem, no worry, because they'll go to either a decent day or to a decent place. It's a very real world. It's a very solid world. Because the energy, the molecules vibrate at a very, very, very fast speed. So when the spirit body, which vibrates at the same fast speed, leaves this dense, physical, slow-moving earth and goes that fast vibration, that is a solid world. This is a ghost world. It is very solid. There are trees and flowers. They become a forest of flowers.
So that becomes reality. This becomes the fading dream.
That's exactly right.
Wow. And so there's trees, there's homes, there's
meadows, halls of learning, made of mother of pearl. Beautiful, beautiful places over there. When they play the symphony, it's so much they talk about. They talk about the symphony playing. And you actually see the notes and the feelings of color coming off of the player as they're playing this instrument. You see all the essence of the love of the musical notes. Because we're so, this is Earth, we're just so limited.
All right, let me tell you how really limited I am. All right, I can conceive of heaven. I can conceive of a wonderful place, but it does not include wings flipping about on clouds, soft harp music. It includes some rather, as I think about it now, James, some rather earthly kinds of things. It includes women, it includes the NFL, it includes beer, it includes radio, it includes all the things that I love, and if those things aren't there, then that wouldn't be heaven for me. So
you got it right. What you make it, heaven is your own consciousness.
really,
That's exactly right. And if you want to play the piano down here, you're at a chance, you can play it over there.
I'll tell you
Want
what,
to be over there, you can drink beer.
all right, we'll see you over there. Green Bay with one.
Anyway, we're playing sports over there. They have activities. They have many times what they're Americans. Well, he's talking about golf. There's not much life like golf on here. Oh, yeah, you play all the time. That's really Sunday golf. I'll play golf over there. So it does happen. That's what happens.
Are there,
And there are, you're right, there are no, I'm sorry to say, I read this in the book too, and I felt so bad for certain people because they make so much of it about angels and flames and stars that doesn't exist. That's mythology. And I do believe that that's about when someone has an experience of spirit room. And around the spirit was an aura, electromagnetic field that we all have.
yes,
And that's what they saw was that aura. And they interpreted that as wings. And I believe that's
as a matter of fact, it's interesting you should mention auras because my guest this coming week on Greenland is going to talk about auras. It's one of those, I've been searching for a guest on the subject for I don't know how long. Do you see auras?
I see, yes, I do see auras. I see auras, and I'll tell you, it's stronger with certain people than other people. And it's very interesting because the aura, of course, records your thoughts, your feeling, your emotions, your mental state, your health state. And many times I'll see things like colors. For instance, I'll feel like green around someone, around their neck area, their shoulder. And I'll feel like you're having trouble with your shoulder and neck. Honestly, the pain there.
Green means
Healing. Well, green is healing.
oh, I see.
And pink is love. And the yellow is a lot of mental activity. We're thinking a lot, so there's a lot of yellow in the head area. It happens quite a bit. And I feel the energy too around besides seeing the aura. I feel the aura.
What about the opposite? What about ill health? What about a spirit that is troubled, or a murderer, or,
Well, first of all, with ill health, like when I see someone first sitting, really, I will scan the body. What I do is I scan the energy of the body, and I don't check how I do it because I put a pen and piece of paper, and I used to do this before I even knew the habit. I go up and down the spine on a piece of paper. I'll draw a figure, 6 figures in, and I, believe it or not, will stop at a certain place on their body where the energy, there's an energy block, where the energy is not flowing up and down the spine correctly. Right? And I'll say there's something wrong with your heart. Yes, I have had heart trouble. I have a valve problem. I have, bypass. Because it's broken in the energy. It's recorded there. You can see it in the energy field. When someone is ill, for instance, AIDS or cancer, the body is depleted, the energy force is depleted. They will wake up in the spirit world, and they usually will find themselves in a hospital setting. And
in the spirit world.
in the spirit world, in a hospital setting, not like our hospitals, per se, very more comfortable and beautiful. That's not horrible out here. And what happens is the prana, the energy of life, they breathe this into them, and it recharges them, vitalizes them. And then they come into the consciousness of where they are. And they have no more health, no more ill health. No more feeling of, oh, this is terrible. If they had a limb that was missing, they will have it right back.
What about age? Now, many of us don't get this horrible illness. It takes us early, but rather we get to be very old, very decrepit, 100 years old, and then we pop off. And you don't want to end up on the other side at 100.
Well, we're here to learn, this is our school world. And we never stop learning. That's why it's always wonderful because the soul is, the mind is part of the soul. And every experience we have is recorded in the mind, you see. The mind transcends. So the brain will die off. Everything is recorded in the mind.
So what I said is really dumb. There's nothing physical about it on the other side. You don't translate 30 years old with the guy with a pretty body and end up with one on the other side. It doesn't work that way.
Well, what happens if you die at 70 or 80 or 90 or whatever, you usually will go back to the time of your life. You should go back to the healthy time of your life, the time of your life that you choose.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So in other words, you do that to have some kind of physical presence on the other
Oh,
side.
you certainly do. And I've worked with many spirits, and I subscribe to this person. They say, oh, yeah. Many times it's so funny. I'd like to have some lady come through and say, you told me you got her wedding picture, that you have the wedding picture. Like I'll be talking to her daughter. She looks just like she did in her wedding picture. And, very young, very young. So,
That's very interesting, very interesting. And there is a real physical world.
very, very
Every bit as physical and real as this one.
more so, even more so, they say. They can smell things. They can just, and they, where is God? Where is God over there? And the answer they come back, God is everywhere. You see God in flowers. You feel God in every living thing. And the sense of God is order. You got a perfect order here.
There is nature there, as there is here.
There's nature there. There are animals over there. And they're not fierce animals. You can talk to the animals. It's by telepathy. Everything's got telepathy over there. They don't speak. It's all done by the mind. And there's no reason for them to fear over there. There's no fear. And people are revealed for who they are. It's almost like with no clothes on. You see who the person is with their true truth. Everything is uncovered. You are completely naked in that you are who you are. The character of who you are. Isn't that scary?
That's exactly what I was sitting here thinking. Isn't that scary? I want to talk a little bit more about animals because there's some pretty weird things going on right now in our world with animals, and I'll tell you about that when we have that on it when we come back. My guest is James Von Braun. He's the nation's, I think, premier spiritual medium. He also has the nation's #1 bestseller right now, a book called Talking to Heaven. So obviously, an awful lot of people believe what James Von Braun does is absolutely right on the money. From the high desert, the place that will answer, this is Coast to Coast AM. It's James Von Braun. James, welcome back. I've got some challenging faxes for you here, okay?
Okay.
All right, your guest tonight, James Von Braun, is dead wrong. First, not everyone goes to heaven, probably a whole lot fewer than you think. Now, do you agree with that?
How do I know? Well, I think you go to where what you created. I think.
They don't know, but you're supposed to know.
Well, like I said earlier, you create your own heaven and your own hell based upon the way you live your life and your beliefs.
Oh, okay, then key question, James. When you reach out to speak to some people that you are asked to speak to, how many times do you find them in hell instead of heaven?
Well, very interesting. Because kind of what you hell. Hell is not fire and brimstone.
How about just a situation they're not at all comfortable with?
Thank you, that's hell.
That's hell indeed.
They can't forgive themselves. They feel so upset about how they treat someone else like earth. Have a hard time forgiving themselves when they treat someone. How they didn't want to live the expression of who they were. They keep them down. A wife, your husband horribly, then they come back and
Remember the Twilight Zone, James?
oh, of course, I love that show.
All right. Do you remember there was one episode of a guy who passed on, went to this place where he was sentenced apparently to live with his horrible, shrieking shrew of a wife who just tore into him every minute, and that, of course, would be hell.
You bet, that would be hell.
So, I mean, you find people in that sort of a
Very good. A lot of times I find people, yes. That's when I tell people when I'm sitting with this. Now it's for you to forgive this person. Send them forgiveness. Send them thoughts of love. Tell them, it's okay. You forgive them, and because it'll help them to forgive themselves. You see, they all have spiritual to forgive themselves and move on. And they have to realize they're not perfect. And I find it's especially true in suicide. I find that many of those who pass on find it very, very difficult because, they see what they've done. And I have a whole chapter in the book about it. And it's awful. There was one.
Suicide is not painless.
Well, suicide is not famous, no, it's not quite the opposite. There was one story I have where this man hung himself, and he actually showed me, and this doesn't happen that often, he showed me what it felt like with him when he left the body. Right out of the top of the head, he hung himself, he came right out of the body, and he was showing me himself looking down, and he was so upset what he did, he tried to get back into the body, and couldn't get in. And then he felt his parents with the grief and break down, and he felt so sorry for what he had done to them. And horrible, you see.
He had to live that, in other words, what they felt.
Yeah, feel what they were feeling, and feel what he caused, or what he did. That's me now.
All right, what about the suicide of a different sort of nature? For example, somebody in the final, wasteful, painful, horrible stages of AIDS or cancer. One would think that under those conditions of suicide would be different in my heaven anyway, or my hell, that the relatives of that person might be relieved to know that person is no longer in horrible lack of pain.
Right.
So it might be different, or is it not? Is suicide still?
It might be not. Let's put it this way. Let's look at it that we are going to go certain lessons. And perhaps, and when he cancer was like, oh gosh, it's just a small place that we do live on, there's such a thing as that, and there's an expansion of consciousness. And you'll have to think, well, that wasn't so bad. It was only 70 years, kind of went very quickly.
Sure.
Now, well, let's look at it this way. What if the person chooses to go through the experience of AIDS or cancer? Because by choosing that, perhaps they alleviate the negative karma of mankind, that mankind is created by their violence. And they treat one another. You see, the karma of the planet, the karma of the country of the planet, and so forth. And these great souls might alleviate from that negative karma by sacrifice.
Do they choose that, or is it predestined?
I believe that they, well, both. I believe they do choose it. I do believe they choose it. And I do believe, I guess because also, that maybe by taking on the condition of this AIDS or cancer, maybe they're teaching their family and their loved ones unconditional love. Maybe they're teaching them lessons in love. And how do we know that soul of advocate is not supposed to go through that experience for the whole experience of it? So how do we know that that individual might have, for some reason, maybe something was developed that would stop that death if they waited a little bit longer? We don't know these things.
All right. One more question, same vein, abortion.
Right. I get that asked a lot. That's very abortion and miscarriages. Abortion, usually I find, is a lesson for the mother. Because you have to remember the spirit comes in and out of the body anywhere from 7 months before born, it can come in and out 3 months after it's born, in and out.
Wait a minute, you can have a 3-month soulless being?
So the baby comes in and out of that body, all the spirit comes in and out of that body quite often, up to 3 or 4 months after the baby is born.
Why in and out?
In and out of the head. It's adjusting itself to the new vibration of the body, usually. It's working things out. And it goes in now, and it'll come out of the head area.
So then at the moment,
what's left that close of the baby?
at the moment of conception, the spirit is not inculcated.
Correctly. That's correct. That's correct.
Well, that sounds a big argument.
And most of the time, the woman, the pregnant woman, the mother's big, sure, the baby will be around her, around the conception. And again, and checking out the new home, going back and forth. And abortion, I found, is very much a lesson in the woman, her own lesson in growth. See, I have found many women very guilty after an abortion. Of course. Many, I think the lesson in love.
I'll carry that guilt their whole life.
Oh, God, and I'll tell you a story. It's very interesting. I work for Philippine healers, and many times I've seen them open up women, with their hands, they'll go right to the midsection, and they pull out yards and yards of this red, blocking stuff, solid materials. And what that is it's a materialization of the guilt that this woman has carried with her all these years. Because doing abortion, yes, this is a materialization of that negative charge. It's a negative charge, and it has to be manifest physically in order to be taken out.
You've seen these Filipino healers do this.
Oh, yeah, I think Brazilians do it, because I'm in Brazil every March. And I see them, they do this, they go right to the bottom, they pull the negative charges out. You see, it has to exist on a certain level. Here we talk about frequency again. The last frequency that exists on is physical. First there's thought, and then you will manifest that thought. You're a creative being, you're a God being. What is God? You're creative energy. Constantly creative. We are constantly creative. And we have to be careful our thoughts. If we create negative thoughts, we will have to think negatively.
Will cause negative things to happen.
You bet. And I believe that like cancers and other disharmonies, they're imbalances in the body with our thoughts, the guilt, and so forth. And they will manifest if we not things up. We must heal ourselves. If we're not, challenge ourselves down and having the right way of thinking.
We make ourselves sick.
Got it.
Then we can also make ourselves well.
You got it. We have the power of healing within ourselves.
Let me tell you a very interesting story. I received some photographs that staggered me the other day. Are you familiar with Dr. Lorraine Day?
No, I'm not.
Okay, she worked in San Francisco, did worked on a lot of AIDS patients. She then, later in life, and she's now about 60, got cancer herself. And I've got a photograph of her cancer. It's really gross. It's a gigantic, horrible tumor. And Lorraine Day cured herself. She cured herself spiritually. And actually, this thing is gone. It's gone. I've got photographs before and after. It's remarkable. So people can heal themselves, can't they?
So we can. The power of the mind is very, very strong. It's in the power of God. And you have to be careful, taking some very careful of other people out there. If the medical society worked with alternative ways of healing, boy, would certainly be much more a healthy society than we are now.
All right, you talk about suicide. What about, it's really a hard one. What about the death penalty?
I hate to refer to one of them, but I refer that in my book because people have asked that for capital punishment.
Sure. It's not suicide, of course, is it?
Well, every life should be created. Every life should be created with love and
Exactly right, yes.
meditation. First of all, we're unleashing an individual. Let's say there are steps that are going to be dead, but mostly them they would. And we release this being, this soul, who has obviously very negative or thinking very negative or upset. Let's say they were the criminal, they were guilty or so forth. Instead of educating these people, bringing up their opening up the spiritual self, their nature, we unleash this being to a world of spirit, okay? Now they will go to lower vibrations more than likely, so they held them to a darker level or a lower level because of the negativity guilt that they did, the crimes that they're committed to fellow people. What happens is they're pissed off that they're dead, number one. And they want to get, most of the time, they want to get back. They want to get back to this earth because they're upset. They want to relive life. They will very, very often, and they have no awareness of the spiritual world whatsoever, and thrown into it, and they will many, many times walk on this earth influencing other people of the lower consciousness
To
do crime and so forth, to carry on what their consciousness was.
Well, in that case, we're unleashing evil on ourselves when we do this. I'm following your train of thought.
Right. Exactly right. And it's up to us, the responsibility to change that. The criminal system is so messed up. It really should be to help those people, help those souls, because they don't know any better. I believe that certain people, their consciousness, are on a certain level of consciousness, and we have to help them. I must say, who are we to judge? I know it's not, of course, not right to think about human life and so forth. I don't say it is.
But we generally, now remember, James, we only generally executed very worse. I mean, the people who committed heinous crimes, mutilated people, the very worst, double and triple murders, that kind of thing.
Yes, but if we release an individual and we have released them out, helping them to progress spiritually, they will be released at a very low level, and they will influence those other beings in the like minds. I'll tell you. The same thing with people with drugs and alcohol. Many times their alcoholics pass over and they miss that drink, but they really want that drink. and they will go to clubs and bars, and the aura basically the electromagnetic field. If they're selling this stuff, alcohol or drug addicts, right? And they drink and drink and drink. What that does, the psychic web or the aura, is with little pinprick holes in that aura, in that energy field. And these lower influences, the alcoholics, the spirits, alcoholics, will miss that essence. They want to taste again. They will influence that individual. Now the term vampire,
Oh, yes.
where it comes from, what they need is source of life, blood they need. Well, this is the essence of life. They will attach themselves to these beings at a bar or something, and they will put influencing them to drink. Because the spirit is the essence of that drink. So it's very real to them. The expression, oh, it's not himself but the drink. Judaism.
So their sentence, as the only way I can think of it, would be to remain on earth, to influence others to be as they were, and vicariously.
It's really consciousness. It's really the awareness that they have. The awareness level of where they're at. If they don't know any better, then they won't go anywhere. It's all about progression and learning. And one has to be able to have that awareness or want to learn, want to be enlightened. And there are many souls in the spirit realm who go down to those lower levels, those very low levels, and try to help those souls, bring them up to a higher level of consciousness. But some don't want to know anything about it. They were stubborn on the earth. They don't want to believe anything. They won't over there. They want to stay time and physical, gratification.
All right, here's somebody really taking it on. He says, James says that his God is totally a God of love. Maybe he has read the Bible lately.
Oh, I love the Bible people.
He is a God of love, and the but is in capitals. He's also a God of justice. He does not tolerate certain things, like it or not. Some people will go to hell by their own choice, not God's. He only complies with your wishes.
Very interesting.
And to some degree true by your own description. And in other words, not everybody is embraced by God's love. Some of these people are rotten souls indeed, and they stay down here doing their rotten work.
Well, he was that person's idea of God is let me go further about God. I believe that you are God. I believe that I am God. I believe every single person is versus God. That God spark inside them. All that God spark. I find it so hysterical that people limit God, and people limit God to unlimited. I think it's hysterical they can do that. How can we do that? My God, you can't limit my God. My God, you don't limit. I think God is for beyond our comprehension. Way beyond our comprehension.
But a lot of things about God that are beyond my comprehension. I mean, Saddam Hussein will say, we're going to war, and God is on our side, and we'll be victorious. We will say the very same thing, as will the Chinese, as will the Tibetans, as will anybody out there who goes to war. God is on their side.
I was just talking about religion and organized religion and so forth. My way of thinking about this is the following. I believe that, and I'm going to get flack for it, and that's fine, but it's my way of thinking. I believe that most religions are man-made. They are man-made rules. The Bible is man-made, okay?
You are going to get flack. The Bible is man-made.
The Bible,
not the absolute definitive specific word of God, but
the Bible has essences of the truth. I'm not saying it's not true, the Bible. There are parts of the Bible that are very, very true.
Essences of the truth?
Yes, there are different pieces of the Bible's truth. But unfortunately, I think man has influenced the Bible, the writings of the Bible, so much to really empower themselves, okay? Creative power, the man's power, that man control. And that's what religion was born out of.
What about the Dead Sea Scrolls? Or what about evidence that the Bible is accurate?
I believe the original Bible probably was, but I also believe that it was interpreted so many different times, in so many different ways, and translated so many different ways, and everyone had their own take on it, their own gain on it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
That it has to have a certain way. You see, if you can control the masses, then you have power, you have an earthly power. How do you control the masses? Well, you control them by fear. You control them by fear. if you don't do this, this is going to happen.
Someone said the opiate of the masses.
There you go. You either have fear or you have love. You have dark or you have light. So there's a duality again. That's what it is.
Oh, you're going to get in trouble.
That's okay. You know, again, people who have religion, I think it's very important that people have that. If they need that, then that's good. I'm not judging them if that's a bad thing. But I think everyone has the right to believe the way they're thinking.
Well, let's test what we don't believe in the Bible. The Bible begins with Genesis, the creation of all. Right? Let there be light, and so forth and so on. The creation of the earth, the placement of Adam and then Eve. All of that baloney.
Oh no, I don't believe it. So I believe the Bible stories. So they prove it is drawing. I think Adam and Eve is baloney. It's mislogic.
No, Adam and Eve.
Oh, I don't believe that. But I do believe there's an essence or power in the source.
Where did we come from? Did we?
I think we've always been.
What I did is,
I think we've always been.
Didn't we crawl out of some sort of, a lot of scientists would say, look, there was a muck, there was a trunk, there was an ocean, there was a sudden bolt of lightning, there was life. And we crawled from the ocean on our little bellies.
I think there was an evolution, definitely. I do believe that. I don't know if spiritually, I think of the consciousness of mankind. I think that consciousness can transcend over these eons of time, definitely. And I think that corresponds with physical as well, with the physical manifestations and evolvement.
So you buy evolution?
Yeah.
The hand of God will involved in evolution.
Oh, yeah. In everything. We're constantly learning, we're constantly growing, we're constantly learning and growing. Always. That's the wonder about life. Life is just constantly growing. That's what it's no different. You're constantly learning and growing and living. Life is living. Constantly experiencing, growing, creating. Being one with that creative force. All right.
I didn't ask you about animals, and I'm going to definitely do it after the top of the hour, and we will be taking calls. James.27th is my guest. We are not going to do readings, but we're going to take calls about the topic that you're listening to right now. In other words, what's over there. This is Coast to Coast AM. Now to James on Prague, and we are having a general discussion with him. He is fully capable of communicating with those who have passed on, but we are not going to do that on the phone this time. We're going to have a general discussion and general questions when we get to the phone lines here shortly about what we're talking about, and we're talking about many things on the other side. James, I'll ask you a little bit about animals. I've got a story here in front of me, and I've got too many of these lately. Associated Press from Massachusetts. Rescuers struggled in cold, windy weather and rough seas Friday to save dozens of dolphins off of Cape Cod, where more than 50 of the animals have died in the past 2 days. White-striped dolphins began inexplicably beaching themselves Thursday morning, many dying from exposure, others were euthanized on the spot. Scientists say nobody really knows why the animals strand like this. One theory is they move in social groups. They think in social groups. And when one or two get sick and go ashore, sometimes the entire group follows them in committing suicide. Any thoughts on this? More and more these days, we are having this really weird thing where the dolphins and the whales, rare as they are killing themselves.
I do believe there's some consciousness there happening. I definitely believe that. I know about that. Telepathically, they communicate with each other. For the reason why they're doing this, I don't know. I don't know, but I would certainly think that man should start questioning things about the sea and how there's responsibility for the ocean and the life forms that are in that ocean as well.
This is going to sound really strange to you, I suppose, and to a lot of people out there who are going to go through. But I am really, really close. I have 3 cats and a dog. And I'm a cat person. I am really close to my cats. I mean, I think that I can communicate with them telepathically.
Sure.
I think, and I know I can. That's all there is to it. I can telepathically talk to my wild cat, and he will suddenly just melt down and let me pet him, and is suddenly very calm. And this is normally a wild animal. And so somebody here, Irene in Montana writes, please ask James if we will again see pets who have died and to whom we have been very, very attached.
Yes, I mean, again, there's a chapter in my book about animals, and I can't tell you, I mean, it's so incredible, the love bonds that are there between the living and their pets. I mean, it's incredible, this bond.
Very strong.
I had a demonstration once with more than 500 people, and I went to the second row of the auditorium, and I said, there's a lady standing here, and I said, she's a grandmother, and it's from the other side of the family. And so this is a very odd thing, but she's giving you a cat. It's a black white cat, and she's handing this cat to you. And the girl broke down, I mean, completely broke down in tears. And I said, what is the matter? And she said, when I was standing in line to come in here, I concentrated on my little cat. It's a cat that died last week. I had to put the cat down, and I just wanted to communicate with her.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that.
But the best part is, she said, and I understand why my grandmother gave me the express cat in that. Who was that? She said, well, when on the earth, my grandmother, when she was alive, my little girl, gave me this cat as a kid. And now here is the grandmother in spirit giving her back her cat. So, and I've had examples of animals coming through. Wow, incredible, even down to the detail. I once had this girl came to me who was deaf, and she had a dog that would let her know from the door and so forth. And the dog died. And again, this girl came to my office, I knew nothing about her. I didn't know who she wanted to contact, whatsoever. And so there's a dog in the room here, it's a spirit dog. And I said, very strange, it's talking about a red light. And she goes, yes, I'm a good interpreter. Yes, I understand that. And so the dog talks about bringing it to the corner on Fridays and getting milk and bread at the corner store, and you can tie it outside and wait for you. Exactly right. I said, it also talks about the red collar, which it describes the collar perfectly. See, I've had animals describe the death condition. I've had one animal say, it had arthritis. The animal said it had arthritis in its leg. You had to carry it up the steps. And the lady goes, it's exactly right. Animals are pure. I mean, they have pure love. I look at the lessons they teach us in unconditional love.
Oh, it's absolutely true. So then, animals have souls?
Of course, they have life force. They have life force. I do believe the animals.
Yeah, you're really brushing up against a lot of people now. They would say, is that absolute older dash? Animals do not have souls. They are put here for us to use.
Oh my gosh, how egocentric. I can judge and something like that. They have life force, okay? Everything has life force.
Damn right, I believe that they have life force. You bet they have life force.
And they will be with us again. There's another story. There's a wonderful story about this man. This was done the story from the English medium back in early 1930s to 40s. And when my research, I read this story about a man. He had a horse. Everyone died in his family. He only had his horse, like 20 odd years or whatever. And it turned to old nag. Well, the man had, the horse died. The horse died, his heart broken. And that, 15 months later, 5 years later, the man died. And the first thing that he saw on the other side when he got there, he came to consciousness, over the green hill, in this beautiful white horse. It was not the old nag that he knew. It was the same horse, but it was as slow as could be, and healthy, and young. And that bond was strong. The first image he got was
Okay, then if animals have souls, they have spirit, they have life as we do. That's the way we do. Life force. And I absolutely believe that. Then what about people who eat animals?
Yeah.
What do you mean, there I go?
Well,
there I go, what?
I think that we have to be respectful to the animal kingdom. I don't eat red meat, because I do eat red meat, not all the time. Well, because the first thing is not acting to have to realize. Well, it's a hard one, because I don't think that man is supposed to eat animals per se. I think if we do things properly, we eat with the land and grow things. And, maybe fish, perhaps. I think it would be fine with that. I do believe that was very careful with animals. Mm-hmm. All right, and Oprah Winfrey is ridiculous. I just think this is ridiculous.
You think she's going to prevail?
I think she will, because I think, we have freedom in this country to say what we got to say. In the country to say it, but
maybe we do. Maybe.
Well, let's hope so.
Listen, we mentioned the UK. Let me read the source from the UK right here. It says, this year has seen reports of ghosts from war zones to veterans who disappeared, that some of those who have passed over the spirit world are unwilling to be kept from the pleasures of the flesh. A Blackpool woman called in a priest, 2 psychics, and a Mormon missionary to try to rid her of a ghost that she claimed regularly sexually attacked her. The attacks began in 1994 when she felt something or somebody climb in bed with her. She claimed he had pulled off a towel she was wearing on her head and said that it was going to, quote, make love to her, end quote. She then felt a vile sensation, again moving like tiny needles trying to pierce my skin, end quote. What's going on?
Quite common. They're on a very low energy that again, like I mentioned before, it's that earthly sensation, it's that physical sensation. They have to get back the level that they're on, the constant they're on, they're tied to that earthly, desire. That's happening, and it's quite frequent, more than you think. When I first opened up psychically, I started to be aware of beings or the patient's spirits around me. And much of the time, I would wake up in the middle of the night, and there would be a very sexual feeling around me. And there were beings there, and I don't know whether it was women or men or what it was, sexual energy, and it wasn't coming from me. And it was around. It's very real, that stuff.
So there are spirits then that remain at a lower physical level after they pass.
Yes, there are many levels of consciousness.
And they're still seeking sexual pleasures of the flesh.
Sure, and why not? I often say that, we go, some people that work at a job forever and ever and ever and have no sense of moving on, advancing.
Like our president.
Well, God. But, everyone has a sense of moving on when they're going to move on. Each soul grows when they're ready to grow. And they might not have an awareness about growing. There are those beings on that level of consciousness, and they're not aware of the growth. People like Passover, but he learns that that's over. No.
All right, here's another one for you. Again, the UK news, they're a rich source for all kinds of good things. Terrifying accounts of gravely ill people who claim to have been dragged virtually to the gates of hell by demons are to be studied scientifically for the first time by a British psychologist. The existence of so-called NDEs, which 9 people report having mystical sensations, people are being resuscitated now, widely accepted by doctors and scientists, and people, of course, like you, James. Their cause is unknown, but they typically involve a feeling peace followed by a sensation floating through a tunnel with bright light into a deep volcano. But it is now becoming clear that for many people, NDEs are far from blissful. Instead of having a feeling floating upwards, they report being pulled down toward a pit inhabited by demons. And they are going to study this. Now, of course, when people have this, they don't report it. You don't come back and say, guess what? I just went to hell and came back. So you don't get a lot of reports of that. But apparently, a lot of people are now coming forward and dressing up.
Mm-hmm. And I would have to question that person's own beliefs with demons and so forth. I have to question that. And I have to question who they were, what guilt they were carrying around with them. And it manifested possibly as that demon, or they want to. I have to question their religious background. I have to question all these things. It happens to this point.
All right. I have always been extremely skeptical, James, I must tell you, of something called channeling. And frankly, even with movie James, I've been very skeptical because it seems like there is so much room perform.
Right.
Now, in your own field, I mean, you're the top of your field and you're very well respected, but let's face it, not all mediums are on the up and up, are they?
Oh God, no, unfortunately, it makes that's why it's so hard for me to do what I have to do. I always have to prove myself because there are those individuals out there who have no consciousness and they try to take advantage of other people. And
how serious a sin is that?
Well, for me, I think that's a horrendous thing because you're playing people's lives. And that's a big responsibility. I teach what I do to those people who want to learn who can. I don't believe everyone is mediumistic. There are only certain individuals who are. But when I teach my class, the first thing I teach is responsibility. Because if you're not going to, and the ego has to get out of the way. There's no room for ego in this type of work. This work is total service. It's service to one another. And if there's any ego, forget it. Wrong place. And the responsibility, because you have people who are to end their rope, and you're playing lives, and you've got to be responsible. You have to be. If I can't get something through them, I can't get it through. I don't have all the answers.
Here's even a harder one. You talk about responsibilities. Suppose somebody comes to you, James, wants you to communicate with somebody and pass on, and you do so, and what you find out is so terrible that you've got to consider whether you want to really pass this on to the person or spare them.
Well, it happened before. And what happened was when I started this work, I made an agreement with spirit. Now, my spirit, my guides work with me. I went to many different ones for different reasons, medical doctors for various health things and so forth. And the agreement we made was the following, because I was working at Paramount Studios, making lots of money and doing the whole thing on television. And I quit that job.
What were you doing for Paramount?
I was working in their contract administration department, manager, and making a good salary. Anyone would love that job. And I did readings at night, and for a very nominal fee. And Spirit said to me, I thought very weird to do that at night with a studio during the day. Get the position. So they said to me, if you will work with us full time, we'll assure you that you'll always be working whenever you have work. And that was right. And that built us a 3-year waiting list.
Did you say a
3-year waiting list? Yeah, so I stopped in the private. I had to stop because after 3 years, it was like I couldn't do it. And let me add, it was also based only on people referring to me. There were no advertisements, they didn't have to advertise. But anyway, the agreement was made with Spirit that if they bring through this information to me, I'm able to relay it to the person. Any information they give, I want them to code it, not me. Let them be the one. So anything that comes through, I have to give out. Now, how I handle that information to the person, I have to have some finesse. And that's that individual.
Kind of like people not translating something that shouldn't be translated.
Exactly. For instance, I read with Audrey Meadows when she was, I said to her, I was the very first person to say this. I said, Audrey, your husband here, he's sober. He tells me if you don't stop smoking, you will pass. That's what I told her. He said that. And she understood that. And 2 years later, she passed. But I mean, I had to say it, but I said it in a way, you have to be very delicate. And there's a way of delivering this. You have to be responsible. You have to be respectful.
Well, once you've said that to somebody, if you don't stop smoking, you're going to pass. If you don't stop eating the way you're eating, you're going to have a heart attack and pass.
It's Spirit's way of trying to help these people. They have the free will, but they're going to stop or not.
And if they don't, does that constitute suicide?
I would think I'm on my money. I would think it would too. Wow.
I mean, if they really believe what you have said, and they really believe the message, and I would assume with the proofs you give that they would believe it, that would constitute, seems to be suicide.
And then we have to question their consciousness and their evolution and spirit. What I'm saying? The awareness levels that they're at. Would they be aware of their suicide? They might not be.
All right. Well, listen, we're at the bottom of the hour. We've got to pause again. When we come back, we're going to begin taking calls. I do have one more question for you that involves the whole cloning thing. Oh my, what a mess the cloning is. You know, if we can turn out infinite red bells or James on drugs, are we turning out soulless beings? Vessels uninhabited by any life form at all? We'll be a spiritual figure, James Armstrong, who now has the #1 New York Times bestseller, his book called Flocking to Heaven. Maybe you can get it in stores, maybe not. A lot of stores are sold out right now, right, James?
Yeah, I sold out, but I've she's pretty one they have, so most people have it now.
Usually you don't have to tell a publisher, please print more. When they're sold out, they print.
Well, they only have, it's pretty amazing because the ones that were on the bestseller, millions of copies were out there for Angela's Ashes and Midnight and the Gardens of Evil. And my book only had 250,000 copies that went up #1.
Oh my man! Well, you know, because that's enough. That can certainly occur with 250,000. Obviously, it has. So, anyway, listen. Here's the facts. First, I want to ask you though about cloning. That's right. Cloning. They're going to have the ability soon to take scrapings from under your fingernail and produce another James Armstrong, or 2 or 10 or 100.
One is enough.
However, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Dr. C in Chicago is getting ready to do it in 90 days if they don't stop him. We're getting ready to clone human beings. What's it going to mean? Are we going to have, is each vessel going to contain the same soul, a new soul, a soul at all? Is it going to be a soulless being? What will a clone be?
Well, I wouldn't know what a clone means like I did clone, but I think it's really horrendous that man just playing God like that. I think that's incredible to believe they do this sort of thing. With a living thing, of course, by force within it. What part of that soul has something to do with the other individual? I don't know.
Connected to that other individual in some profound way?
Possibly.
I agree with you.
It's a blanket statement, you know, and I have to respond to that because it's hard to say.
We're off in unknown territory, that's for sure. It scares the fire out of me.
Yeah, it's very scary when man does that sort of thing.
Here's somebody who says, I've seen this guy on TV, probably Larry King, where you've seen him boosting a lot. You're going to be a Larry King then too, right?
I was just on about a week ago. I had the most response from any guest I ever had on that show.
Wow.
And for 2 days afterwards, the CNN bureaus of the country were still getting phone calls, so he has to come back.
All right, I've seen this guy, he says on TV. He seems to be a very honest person. I'm very,
thank you.
He says, I'm basically 50-50 on believing this stuff, but here's a question. I've heard him say, it's hard to hear from people who have recently become deceased. Has James ever talked to Jesus, to God? Have you ever encountered directly, in your opinion, the God force?
Well, Jesus being the best of the greatest medium of all time, the God force. Again, it's a hard thing to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God force every day. And when I'm living, I deal with the God force. Pure love. I mean, I can describe it as pure love. That's the God force. That's pure healing love.
But has there ever been a moment when you realized that you were suddenly encountering?
Yeah, I know you're going to say. Yeah, my very, very first psychic experience happened when I was 8 years old. And I was lying in bed on Saturday morning, and I was raised Catholic, Irish Catholic. And I didn't believe in it. I thought there was not something right here. I loved what it looked like, and the songs, and it was very pretty, but it didn't speak to my heart. And I asked for God. And I would say in about 2 or 3 hours one morning on Saturday, I asked for proof. Show me God, show me God, show me God. And there was a hand that came through my ceiling, open-handed, and light streaming from the inside of the palm. Came down. This is the book. It's all about this. And again, an essence of sense. The room was filled with a sense of peace, joy, and love. These NDE people that come for this is going peace. And it was just kind of like a knowingness, a reassurance. Oh, okay. You know, children are much more open than adults.
Yes.
And I just took it as a try. Okay, this is what I have to say. And that was it. I never told anyone about it. It was just something that I knew. I knew one day it would mean something to something else. It was my reassurance, not the closest, I guess, to answer.
Yeah, that's quite a story.
It is. That was the very first big experience I had. And I wasn't frightened at all. It was just like, oh, this is beautiful.
All right, here's a blast from the boy again.
Okay.
This guest of yours is a hypocrite and a pagan. His afterlife is spelled out in the Bible. We quote it. My father's house has many mansions. He is grouped with magicians, astrologers, witches, and other sadly deluded and lied to people. That's, I would say, this comes straight from a born again.
I would like to tell me what they really think. You know, it's so interesting how people judge. What are they better? They judge people that makes them better. I think that's okay. He has the power himself. He has to twist them along and judge them. We all have our own truth, you know. Who they to say?
All right.
Any experience?
Right, let's turn to the audience and see what plays is out there right now. Houston Rockies, you're on the air with James Von Traub. Good morning. Where are you, sir?
I'm calling from Thornton, North Carolina, right outside of the RTP Rockies.
All right.
I came online and I found about shoes. My mother was probably on TV, but I've recently been very involved with the website. I was just in the chat room and it said, "Do the radio." Oh, really? Yeah. That's a lot of people on the website.
James, you've got a website?
Bandcross.com.
Oh, James.
I not just self-promotion, but bandcross.com.
Okay.
I'd like to give you this thing right now. I mentioned earlier I was on my site earlier and I mentioned it would be on our Bell show, so I don't know. That's pretty funny.
We will get a link up immediately from blog.com, and you even got a chat room up there?
Yeah, I got a chat room and I have a members chat and we do reading over the computer.
Oh my God.
That's what I like you to know. I know and there's also other people out there know what I swim. You know, I really enjoy it. I want to get you to that. You're welcome. But, of course, do keep in mind, I think I tried to tell you this when you came in yesterday. Americans seem to be impressed with me, to get all the info. Yeah. And then Russian side, don't be a fan of the book is number one. Oh, no.
Hey, look, look at all this. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I thought, I can say what I think what you say about that. I feel myself being communicated with myself. Like, you don't see me coming around whenever I was down. Right, of course. And,
yes.
And I'm right now, I don't think what is laughing. It has all these different grades and how it's like,
all right, well, you know what? My pets come to me when I'm sick, when I'm down, when I'm feeling rotten. They come to me, they know.
Wonderful healers, aren't they? Wonderful healers, animals.
How do they know?
Oh, they're on different vibratory range, of course, frequency. How do they know it's going to rain? Cows lie down on the ground. How do they know about a natural disaster? They go on, earthquake. They'll know. They are on a different level than we are. Their antennas are a little bit higher.
Once you go out, you're on the air with James Von Traub. Hello. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi, it's Trish from Congress in Washington.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Chris.
I love the show. I've listened to it about 3 years now. It's just wonderful.
Thank you.
And James, I think what you do is so wonderful. I have a question. I lost someone several years ago. Suddenly, they died in their sleep. They weren't ill. They were on vacation. I've always worried about the consequence or the effect of that suddenness when you died and moved on to the other room.
Mm-hmm. It depends always on the type of death that happens and how the occurrence takes place. Okay? The type of death it is. If the death, like a sudden death, it's very different than someone who's been ill for a long period of time. In this situation, where the person dies in their sleep, more than likely, they would kind of they'd wake up, and around them would be most relatives or friends who they knew on the earth, who they had a strong love bond with, a love, very connected with. And they will greet them and bring them over. Many times it happens when people pass in
It just seems like the adjustment period, even though being ill would be hard, the adjustment period would help you.
Very smart. Yeah, there is an adjustment period because the world in many respects, because it's our mindset. Our mindset is in the physical world. But then when you get to the spiritual world, and you're in the very physical world, it's a whole different way of living. So there is an adjustment period, usually about 3 months I have found. When I do readings to people, it's usually 3 months I say, person should be over there. Because we don't want to pull them right back down to the first level. We'll have to adjust over there.
I mean, it's very hard not to do that.
It's very hard not to do that. Of course, it's still the natural grief with this individual. But realize that they're in a better place and send them love, send them love.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to tell everybody, my webmaster, who is fast, Keith Roland, who you ought to vote for, by the way, for the webbies, now have a link up to landrad.com. So if you go to my website, you just go on down to James Landrad's name, click on it, and over you go to his website, where apparently there is a chat room where I'm sure by now many are gathering. All right, first time caller line, you're on the air with James Landrad. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, where are you?
Temple City, California, and Tulsa.
Okay.
I've been kind of thing for years. Everything on the other side.
Oh, thank you. And how's that NBC show, Art, just in case you didn't know that?
The other side.
The other side.
And I've gone to a couple of your demonstrations.
Oh, have you? Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. And, I know you can't do anything, but I'm not going to do that I like it, but, I have something.
Let's correct that. He can do
Oh, of course.
We're just not doing it right now, right?
Right, I understand.
It's really a relief for me, I got to say, because it's all I've been doing lately for the book is that, so I appreciate that, Art.
Okay, my question is, we have discovered there's no time in heaven, and I'm wondering how does that work with us? Does that mean that they can come to our future or our past, or can they travel in time? Or?
Yeah. What happens is when we leave the physical earth, they're outside of time. They're outside of time. And time is only relative to the world. Therefore, they only know it our birthdays or holidays by coming in and tuning themselves to our mindset or looking at us and observing us, running around shopping or so forth. That's how they know these things. They can see in their standard consciousness a little bit ahead and a little bit behind. So look at it like this way. If you're in a helicopter, you're looking down the road. Just a little bit ahead, a little bit behind. And you may be able to warn them that there's a problem up ahead in the road.
Oh, that's exactly where I was going. You know, there are so many people right now who've written books, for example, about angelic intervention. Somebody going down a highway about to have a collision with a big old 18-wheeler or something and be smashed into little pieces. Suddenly there's some kind of message, some sort of intervention to prevent that from occurring. Is that a result of the people you just described, the spirits, who are able to look a little bit ahead, a little bit behind?
That's right. They protect you. And you would be so surprised how protected and influenced you are during the day and during the night. And there are those beings that are around you who help you protect and guide or guidance. So, yes, very true. And I also must say to you, like attracts like, the natural law, like attracts like. They will attract you, those beings, those guides, teachers, at the same level that you're on. When you keep your consciousness and mind at a certain high level, you bring those up on that high level to you. You get the opposite. If you have your mind on the lower level, they'll bring that lower end to you.
So there really are angels.
There are angels, but angels not with wings. Angels are your family that passed over. Angels are teachers that you've known before in lifetime. Those are angels or guides. I always say angel or guide, same thing.
All right, John writes the following. Edgar Mitchell, the Apollo 14 astronaut I've interviewed many times, has said, quote, I see spirituality as a personal experience of divine reality. I see religion as believing in somebody else's experience of divine reality.
I couldn't say it better myself. I totally agree. Totally agree.
All right, well, you're on the air with James Landrad. Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Paul from Minneapolis.
Hi, Paul.
First, Jim was talking about like questioning God when he was like a little kid. I had the same thing, and actually I prayed for a certain toy to come to me a drum truck. But it didn't come to me. And that was my first question with God. that, and I thought that was kind of funny that happened to me. Also, come to think about like kind of what we're guilty about getting animals involved in it. I really would worry about it because I think, yeah, because animals definitely have consciousness of what French in rock as well. You know, it's like kind of thing that stuff down.
Totally true. Vibrations, different rock. Yeah.
Exactly. But we have a consciousness that's a little smaller.
Definitely. And trees and plants, always.
Absolutely.
I was in a room once there, I turned my head over screaming, so I'm like, "Wee!" I'm looking around, and the plants were dying, they needed water.
Oh, okay. Okay. Also, I wanted to just tell you about a certain experience that happened to me that I really haven't been able to talk to many people about because they obviously don't understand, but you're talking about being more openly, psychically or spiritually, and having entities all of a sudden like, you know, where I wanted to play, to feel energy or whatever that may be for. The lower forms, yeah. Yeah.
Initiative, of course. Unevolved.
Here's somebody, Scott, who simply asks, and I think maybe we covered this, I'm not sure, simply asks, is there sex after death? Well, it is a good question.
It is. I was wondering about that. And they also want to conspiracy them having sex too. And the answer to that is they would have this almost like an unspoken law. They do respect you. And they will respect your private time. There is not that much we think. It's more like an essence between the two of them. They see each other who they are. And
So not sex in the same physical sense we understand it here.
that's right. It's a joining of oneness with it's almost like positive nations together.
More like a swap mind meld.
Right. Exactly. There was the cocoon. Remember the cocoon?
Oh, yes, of course.
Once you in the pool, is it open?
Yes.
That's the closest thing that I can say like.
All right, listen, we're at the top of the hour. Are you tired or good to go?
I'm good to go. I'm speeding. I'm fine.
Hold on, James. James Von Prague is my guest. He is, without a doubt, the nation's #1 spiritual medium, and he certainly has the #1 bestseller right now, New York Times bestseller called Talking to Heaven. I'm Mark Bell, and this is Coast to Coast AM, talking not to heaven, but to a lot of earth. We'll be right back. Jane, you've taken quite a few hits this morning from those who describe themselves as born again. I've got, a lot of faxes here from those folks. And I just got one from my friend Daryl that has to be the classic of all time. It says, I have no problem with those that are born again. I would simply ask that they keep the afterbirth out of my face.
Yes, I love that. That's great.
All right, back to those who await. First time caller line, you're on here with James on Bob. Good morning.
Hi, I'm got James book and I just want to say it's great. And I love your show.
And you have a hard time finding this book?
No, not really.
Okay, where are you?
From Wisconsin.
All right.
Okay, my question is, I'm wondering what effects these quantum consciousness and negativity have on others. For example, our feelings of being comfortable with energy.
Well, they put that in the book. I wrote about the consciousness of humankind affects many, many things. And I can't say whether or not. I think there are many, many factors involved. It certainly could. I think a lot of the events on our Earth are affected by the consciousness of human beings, and I think we do believe that. You ever notice our Christmas time is always a nicer feeling in the air? Holidays? Sure. And people have more loving thoughts. It changes the atmosphere.
Okay,
And so then it changes the reality.
Yeah, exactly.
So then her theory about the weather could be absolutely correct.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, I've often thought the same thing, and so I struggle with myself because as a health troubles, I deal with a lot of negativity. I mean, there's a lot of negativity in the world, and when you broadcast it and chew it over and talk about it, somehow it seems to manifest negative things.
Yeah, that's what being a broadcaster has to read content.
Like being a psychic,
Exactly, because what you put out there, you will put out some content to people, and that, it will get out there. I mean, that's why even movies that are shown, like horrible violent movies, that's what it is. Thoughts are really created, to create that picture, the image, thought went into it, and that thought remains somewhere, that force, the energy remains somewhere, that negative stuff, it's around the earth.
Have you, as a psychic, as a medium, spiritual medium, have you ever had a glimpse yourself into the current future of the globe, of the world, where we're headed?
I think, it goes into free will, okay? I think that, again, the majority of the consciousness of the earth makes a big deal, makes a big difference. I think there are a lot of people out there who are a lot of negative people, negative energy. I also believe there are a lot of loving individuals out there. And I do believe that light workers or healers or whatever you want to call them, were born or are born certain generations, certain times, almost balance out the negativity, negative forces.
Let me give you a good specific example. Right now, the whole world is talking about biological warfare. The little germs that could eventually take us all out. Now, we're concentrating so heavily on it, and we're literally expecting it. The expectation is we are going to be attacked by biological weapons. Is that going to bring about that reality if we don't stop thinking so hard about it?
There's some possibility. I do think so, it is. A great book has been taken by James Allen. What's all about that? The creative mind. God simply creates his mind. And what we choose to do with that creativity, either make it positive or negative, we have free will.
Well, good morning. You're on the air with James on Cross. Good morning.
Hello, Lars. This is Mike in Philadelphia.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, James. Hi. Yes, I'd like to thank you both for taking everybody to the next level. Okay. I would ask you, Steve, what would you tell everybody out there, when you die, people say, well, should you go to the light or should you go to the darkness? And I hang up the answer.
All right. Well, let me add to it. A very good friend of mine, James, named John Lear, who was the son of Bill Lear, who invented the Lear jet. John's good friend. And he was told, and passed on to me, that art, he said, be careful when you pass away, when you die, you will have an opportunity to go to the light, but I am told it's a trick that you should go to the darkness. And it's a trick, and that has preyed on my mind ever since he said it.
Well, I'll tell you something. When you're in the dark, you can't see where you're going, can you?
No.
In life, you're illuminated, you see where you're going. Of everything.
Well, you have no problem. That's straight to the light.
That's right for life. When I first started doing this work, like I told you earlier that when I opened up, there were some strange beings around me. And whenever I would say, are you of God? Are you of the light? It was got to be done. It would say it right away.
And so
because light has stronger vibrations. The word love and the word God are two of the fastest vibrational words we have in the English language.
So there are tricks, but there are easy ways to cut through them.
That's right.
I understand. Now that's helpful. You're on the air with James on the rock. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. Where are you?
I'm in Atoka, Oklahoma. I am the 6th grade Messiah.
You are?
Yes, I am. Wonderful. I would like to know if you understand truly what hell is.
That's a good question. Can you understand truly what hell is?
As far as what?
Well, what hell is? I mean, for those who irredeemably taken their souls by some action.
It depends on what talent you've been from a religious standpoint or from a spiritual standpoint.
Yes.
That's what I need to know.
I just say yes. In other words, spiritual or religious, however you want to consider it, you have acknowledged that hell exists.
Definitely. I find that only acknowledge it exists in a religious point of view, religious setting, like a Christian religion, like the devil with a pitchfork and that sort of thing. I don't believe that at all. I believe there's torment I was just like the torment is the consciousness of the individual. That's means hell.
There was a movie, which I can never recall the name of when I want to recall it, about a woman who went out into the desert. You can probably name the movie for me. With her baby daughter, and she was determined that the end of the world was coming, and that the horsemen were about to ride, and she was going to go to the desert and meet God. And God didn't show up. And she began to get hungry and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it turns out she was going to kill her daughter, to send her daughter to God, and then kill herself. Well, she killed her daughter, and she didn't have it within her to kill herself. Then she went to, at the end of the movie, she went to heaven. Almost. She went to some sort of apparent waiting room in between here and that next level. And she was required to judge herself. In other words, and her judgment was that she not go to heaven, not be allowed to join her daughter, who was indeed there, but remain forever outside that realm or that dimension. And she chose to condemn herself. Are we required to judge ourselves in that manner?
We do judge ourselves. I think we believe that if we earn things or not, everything has to be earned. You have to earn your place in heaven, in the spiritual realm, by your life on the earth. You must earn. It's like down here with the earn thing in a certain way. We have to earn those spiritual tools. We have to. We do judge ourselves. That's what happens.
Nobody's going to be any harsher, I think.
No one but ourselves. Very, very true.
It's a funny
It's like the opposite, there's so much love in spirit. And there's so much love that they want to help us. But it's us having to figure ourselves the hard part. That's why there's so much help to be done from the earth level. Love in spirit. If we forgive them here, it can help us alleviate their hell that they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want one thing I gotta say. It was so quick to judge. How do we know that if we were not in the same situation, we would have the same thing?
We don't.
So it's so hard right to research.
No, we don't. What's the Rocky Drum here with Art Bell and James Von Frog? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Gosh, I tell you, I've been trying forever to get a hold of you, especially when James was on.
Well, you've done it. Where are you?
I'm here in Central Valley in California. My name is Judy.
Okay, Judy.
What I'm kind of curious about is, ever since I was a little girl, I've had experiences where I felt like I'm not alone. And sometimes I would feel the presence, and actually, at the corner of my eye, I would see, things, seeing little girls and stuff. I would see things like unicorns and things that were fun for me as a child that I could talk to, and they were my friends, because we were little isolated children. And then, as I grew older, I quit seeing the fantasy type thing, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And then I started not seeing anything, but I would feel conversations from other people, other beings.
They didn't lose it completely, yeah.
No, I didn't. I kept that part of it. And then when I was about, I guess, 25 or 26 years old, another phase, I guess if you would call it, started in, and I started hearing one particular voice, and I kind of think he's maybe like my guide.
Yeah, you're very good at this.
And he laughed at me a lot because I'm not doing what he says I should do. It's one of those things where I can hear him laughing at me more than I can hear him telling me to do things. But I still feel his words a lot of times. Am I ever going to get to a point where I can actually hear him like we're kind of talking now?
Sure. You just sit in development circle, but that is like a meditation circle each week. And you sit with several people who have the same kind of harmonious, feeling of energy around you. You get along very well, in other words. You're very well balanced.
Yeah.
And you need to sit the same time every week for about an hour if you can. Work your way up to an hour. And what that does is, and you let the spirit people, you say like a big prayer, and you let the spirit people work on you because they're working as the activity of your body, of your astral body. You see? And they have to work in your centers.
Is that why, like, when I go to people, gatherings and stuff like that, where I know there's a lot of psychics, a lot of people around who are gifted, and I can sit there and I can look and I can actually see, like, the outlines, the silhouettes of beings standing behind people, or
because the energy is at a higher vibration when you're around a lot of psychics, the energy there is at a higher frequency, and you're able to tune in easier. You know, if you're looking at a radio station that's tuning into the band, that's the band, and you're tuning to a higher level. You are a natural born medium. You really should work on that if you could.
I've been told that many times.
You are.
I kind of like,
you really are, and you're very good at it as well.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, there we are now. James, that brings to mind a question. She said that when she was young, that she would see unicorns and there's a lot of children that have imaginary, so-called imaginary friends. Now, does this mean that when we're born and early in our life, we're open, we're spiritually attuned and able to see these things, and they're as real can be then, and we slowly sort of tune them out as we get older?
This is correct. And I put, again, in the reference of the book, it's just right in there, right? All about this book is that children, when they're born, they're closer to the other side than we are as adults. And they are very open because babies, what do they rely on? If they cry, they feel things. They're not relying on sensitivity. And there's I have heard that there is an actual physical mechanism that happens in the brain of a shift around the age of 6 or 7 that closes down.
It starts to shut it down.
Right, exactly.
Now, what about the other end? Do we become closer also at the other end as life is closing down?
You betcha. You betcha. We are opening up for sensitivity. And you notice that older people, elderly people, are sweeter. They're almost like children, very sweet and innocent again. And
Absolutely.
Absolutely. My dad is in the hospital right now. He's geriatric getting broken head. And I went to visit him, and I mean, these people are the sweetest people. It's very interesting how it happens. It's very real.
So innocence comes, and then it goes, and then it comes back again.
Sure, because they become conditioned to this world, this earth world, and then they become conditioned that this is all there is, and this is everything. And then you have to look a certain way and do a certain thing to be successful. And there's all those rules out there. And unfortunately, we get caught up with them in the outside world. So we stop looking at the inside world. And that's what I teach people. I teach people to start looking at the inside world again.
So then maybe when a lot of people get older and begin to slip into a state that we almost might regard as almost catatonic or off into a different world, or maybe diagnosed as schizophrenic, or who knows, at the end of life, the way people get diagnosed, they may not necessarily be exactly in that condition. They simply are listening and speaking and hearing and seeing elsewhere.
That's right. In many cases, they would be. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Wow. Oh, all right. Listen, Rockies, you're on the air with James on Broad. Hello. Yes. Haven't you gave me a good whack, huh? All right, so we've got a moment right there, James. Hold tight. We'll be right back from the high desert area that will answer. Now, this is Coast to Coast AM. right, James Von Braun, once again, you've really been a trooper, James.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here is a fax for you. Maybe you'll recognize this person. James, it says, congratulations. It's been 9 years since we last saw each other. I had no idea what you've been up to, and so but I tuned in tonight to say that I'm blown away with the understatement. So glad to hear your work has come to fruition. I completely agree. Animals have souls. And that we can learn so much from them just by opening ourselves to their form of language. I live with a wolf. He's sleeping at my feet now. He's taught me so many wonderful things. Truly an angel on 4 legs. 2 questions. 1. I remember when Brian Hurst, the British medium with whom you once collaborated, would do readings, he'd become physically exhausted during the session, even losing a pound or 2. Do you find your sessions physically taxing, or do you take a different approach?
Oh, wow. I stopped doing private reading, and since I stopped doing private reading, my energy level was really increased. So that does take a toll on you physically. And you have to take care of yourself. You have to be very health conscious. I work out at the gym. I try to eat right. For the book tour, I haven't been able to do this, but I try to eat right. And you have to. You have to actually pay very much attention to that. And it can affect various things. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2 is I suspect there are many people like myself who want to branch out into more spiritual pursuits, but who find themselves heavily bogged down in material commitments. Do you have any suggestions on how to begin exploring and breaking loose?
Well, you have to start doing a discovery of self and see what's important to you and your values of yourself, really, and what's real to you, what's not real to you.
By the way, it's signed Howard Johnson, Lake Tahoe.
Oh my God! I don't believe it.
I thought you might recognize it.
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
It's a friend of mine.
East of the Rockies, you're on the air with James Von Traub. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hi.
Hey, Tommy from Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Von Traub.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
And how are you?
Well, you sound good today. It's a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
I was wondering, have you ever solved any major crimes?
Good question. I used to work in the police, and I had to stop because I used to look at kidnapping cases, and I would visually, when I tune into it, because I could tune into what was going on with the person, so I didn't tune into the person's mindset. And I could visually see, like a good psychic, what was going on. And I would see these people, one for instance, a man kidnapped this girl, the little girl, and I've been driving her in the car, she was in the front seat, and he reached over with his right hand and hit her. And it knocked me for a loop. I couldn't handle it. So, for that experience, after seeing him like that, I could have killed them, I could have carried them and put leaves on top and fold it. I stopped doing that. But that was that. I stopped doing it. I couldn't take it. It was too much for me. There was one situation I did a reading with, which was very, very interesting. There was someone that came to me, and it was this lady and her husband died. I didn't know this. He came through and said, you think it's a suicide? And he says, it was not a suicide. I was shocked. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, your husband is talking to me that there were 2 men responsible for his death. He's talking about diamonds, and there was a fight about diamonds. You sound like a field, didn't you? She goes, yeah. And there was a gun, yeah. What happened was this man, actually found out, was working. He worked in a jewelry exchange, and 2 co-workers were in some kind of a cahoot, and they killed him. Made it look like a suicide, and the information that was gathered from that, the police listened to it, and they were able to apprehend the 2 men, and then after in jail time.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. West of the Rockies, you're on there with James Von Traub. Hello.
Great show. James Von Traub.
Yes, sir.
And, I was wondering, you were asking James about a person who
It's psychically dense. God did create, but very against that way. It is a perfectly proper question, and there are many of us walking around like that. So,
You know what spirit calls people down here? They call us the walking dead.
the walking dead.
Yeah, because we come from the outside. You call us dead, you have no idea. You're the walking dead down there. You see what we're seeing here.
So I am.
What is the question, though?
Well, the question was, what of these people? What did you say about them? I mean, they're happy in their ignorance of psychic things. They're
Yeah, well, there you go. Perfect. It's telling us that's from consciousness or gas level. And nothing like wrong with that. It's just that they have to have a certain level of their belief system. And it works for them, I guess.
So in another few lifetimes, they'll wise up.
I guess they will. I mean, we're all here to learn certain things, and we're all on different levels down here.
Well, remember we were talking about reincarnation. Is the continuing process of reincarnation a spiritual progression? So if it is that, then one would become more spiritual as the incarnations increase,
More enlightened.
and one who is thick as a brick spiritually now might simply be in an early stage.
Sure. And what helps us progress? Experiences are great teachers, aren't they? This is how we learn our lessons. That's how we become enlightened, evolve. See? We're all at different levels of that. And we're thrown down here in this world so we can learn different methods and lessons with other people on different levels. When you pass over, you're on a level which you created, and you're with other souls of like minds who are on the same exact level as you. But down here, it's a mishmash. All different types of people.
Makes sense. First time on the line, you're on here with James Bunton. Hello.
You're very good at what you do. I like the way you pull that together.
Thank you.
And yes, I really admire your courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe and be so confident and relaxed in it. I have two quick questions.
Thank you.
Am I touching down enough?
Yes.
Okay, good. Has God revealed to you your purpose or your goal in this life?
I'm sorry, has God revealed to me?
Uh-huh.
Has God revealed to me my
Purpose or your goal in this life?
definitely? Yes. That's what I'm doing. I believe I came back to my mission here to help heal people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm living God's work by doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm an instrument of God, I believe.
Are you feeding them or are you teaching them how to fish?
I beg your pardon?
Are you feeding the people or are you teaching them how to fish?
Well, I think if you listen, we talked about his book and a chapter in it in which he teaches you how to do what he does. Does that answer your question?
That does.
Yeah.
One more question, I'm through.
All right.
How does a person like me learn the difference between when God's speaking to me and guiding me and fear?
Well, you are God, okay? If you just know that you are God, and that God is pure love, you start learning to love yourself better. And you have to accept that. You have to become one with yourself and trust yourself more. You have to trust that love is within you. And I'm going to tell you that exercise too, which is going to help you, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to run the piece of, what's your first name?
No, she's on. She's listening.
Okay, good. What I would like them to do, and people that can do this, they write, I love you with their name, okay? You put that on a mirror in the bathroom. You say it 3 times in the morning and 3 times at night. You're washing your face, brushing teeth, okay? What happens is the word love, like I said earlier, is the vibrational word we have. When you say that over and over again, it will start changing the energy field around you to whatever higher vibration of love. And you will begin, I've had people do this after like 2 or 3 weeks. You begin to feel very, very, very different, very self-confident, and it makes a major, major profound change in one's life.
Just one thing, James. When you do that, when you write on the mirror, for example, you must be sure to tell your partner in life what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it might take something to say.
They might. Wild Card Line, you're on the air with James Bunton. Hello.
Hi, James. I have a question for you. You were earlier mentioning the 7 vibrations or
7 bodies. 7 bodies.
seven bodies, or however you want to put it.
Sure.
Do you have any idea why they will not publish the complete works of Charles Darwin in this country, why they only published the one volume called his, Speculations on Evolution of the Species, and because he wrote about 7 bodies and 7
He of noise, guys. Did he really? I know I did not know
well, but they only publish it in England, and when you go in an English bookstore, they ask you if you want the only book that the Americans ever want, or that if you want the complete work.
Well, that's remarkable.
And it's, it's the evolution of the spirit body and evolution of the etheric body and all that sort of thing, which apparently is different vibrations and different claims and so forth. I don't know why that's always been banned in this country.
why.
I don't know.
I don't know why. I just, I have to tell you something in that. I think that we always had, and I know the religious, the Catholic Church had this all the secrets, and they didn't want to give them away. But all sacred doctrines they used to have too.
Right.
And
probably still do.
They probably do. Well, look, I interview a lot of people very high in the church, and they affirm that without hesitation, there are many, many secrets that are held very closely.
sure, and even the little the things they do with their, let's for instance, like the anointing of the anointing of the body. They will anoint certain areas of the body and with special oils. And the areas that they're actually anointing are the 7 main energy centers in ancient philosophy, the chakras. And this is to help release the spirit out of the body. And in medieval, the olden days, by the 17th century, they used to put a candle at the foot and at the head of the body. The reason why they did that is the spirit would not return into the body.
A lot of very interesting things that are very little known, James. For example, my wife is a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I had occasion within the last year to take her to the Vatican. We went to the Vatican, and we walked into the Sistine Chapel. And the first thing you see as you walk into the Sistine Chapel is this gigantic globe. And in this last case, and what's on the globe but the 12 signs of the zodiac? Not exactly what you would expect to find in the Sistine Chapel. That's what I thought, so we took a photograph of it. East of the Rockies, you're on there with James on Broad. Hello? Hi, Dave.
James, the question was like from the philosophical tree, you're looking for the planetary what happened, what do you do happened after the divorce? If someone in love with someone who gets divorced, you should marry someone who for the lives.
Very good question.
Yes, a very good question. And I'm loving to mention first divorce. Remember, you're done here for a lesson, okay? It might be karmic, which means you might have to come back up past incarnation to work things out with that person. I was married, and I went through a divorce, and I knew I had to go through that marriage. I knew I had to, and I knew it when it was finished, it was finished. I learned as much as I could in that experience. It was time for me to move on, or her to move on. Just because you're married doesn't mean you've been married your whole life. If you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn from that person as much as you can, it will hinder your growth if you stay married.
But in the afterworld,
right?
What would the bond and the soul do?
I'm going to go on to that. I've had many experiences where I've had sessions where I've had children come and both parents have died. The parents were married for 50 or 60 years. And I would say to them, your mother and father are not together. And I say, what are you talking about? They were in love, 50 years. Okay. And now, they go to that level, which is right for them. And when they passed over, they found that they were not on the same level. They might love each other, that love still continues, but doesn't mean they live together over there. You understand what I'm saying? And if someone's married to someone else, they will go to the person that's right for them, that's compatible for them.
So you believe just as you're looking for what you're trying to experiences with, perhaps also looking to try and find the soulmate that can overlap.
Yes, but it's so interesting. People think it's a soulmate. You're a soulmate. It's not just one mate, you're a soulmate. And we come back as this incarnation. When we get down here, we can come back to the earth. We come in group souls, almost like if they were friends. Let's go take a class or something. We come back with our friends, with our family, because we are also learning lessons with them, and also kind of have karma with those individuals as well. We all come back at one time.
But you think that everything here?
I'm not lovely of everything here.
Oh. Yeah, here's I mean, grand scale of everything. The love that we have for this one particular person who's come around may not mean anything on scale.
Oh, of course it does. I'm sure it teaches you more about loving yourself.
Yeah, about yourself and about your experiences, but not necessarily with that soul, not necessarily with that person.
Well, it'll help you grow within yourself, and also can help that other person grow. Maybe you're teaching that person something that they have to know.
But not necessarily with that person that they have.
Right, exactly. You might come together for a brief period to learn things with each other, and you've agreed upon that before you get back into the incarnation. So we're going to teach you a little bit of this. We're going to throw a few standards here to above brokenness, and then we'll move on. And it happens quite frequently.
All right, thank you. Or could in some instances two souls be bound?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. You bet.
I think that's what he was asking.
Yes, you could have shared many lifetimes together, and you really are complementing each other, and yes, that does happen. It happens as well.
All right, listen, Robbins, you're on here with James on Prague and not a lot of time. Hello.
Hey, how are you, James? I'm Bob from Denver, and a couple of times when my cousin died when I was quite young, my cousin essentially came back to me and said things were wonderful, and I wasn't really sure whether I was really going sure or whether that really is happening.
I'm sure that's the case many times, James, that people receive a message or hear something from somebody who's passed, and they think they're losing their mind.
Because they rely so heavily on this earth, they rely so heavily on the rational mind, the rational condition, the conditioned mind, black and white, that they're not aware of these other sensations that they get, which is really the truth, which is really, yeah.
So you would counsel people who receive such a message, don't worry, you're not losing your mind.
Encourage them. I would encourage them to get more in touch with it, and more in touch with their inner self, become more sensitized.
All right, well, you have done it. You have run the gauntlet, indeed.
And I'm ready to go. Please.
I'll bet you are. Well, you've got the number one New York Times bestseller right now, Talking to Heaven. What do you advise people who are out there desperately searching for it? I guess in some parts of the country it may be available, other parts not.
They can get to my website. I have plenty of copies. I'm more than happy to. And the bookstore should be having it this week because it's number one. It's good at printing, and so they will be able to get it. If not, order it at the bookstore. That's fine.
All right, and again, it's called Talking to Heaven. Is it a long book?
No, it's 150 pages. It's an easy read. People read it in one day. Simple read.
Absolutely excellent. Well, listen, my friend, I release you to the world of sleep, and I thank you for one of the best shows that we've ever had on the subject.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Take care, my friend.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Good night. That's James Von Rod, ladies and gentlemen. Talking to